Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. It's time for Taroscopes. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Taurus. That's Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, or Taurus Rising for the month of August 2023. And I have my little altar set up next to me with my Taurus picture, my little fairy, my beautiful candle that Ona sent me called Ireland. And it smells like Irish Spring, but in the nicest way, not like too Irish Springy, like the soap. And I have my moss agate heart here. So I just thought I'd point those things out to you. These are all very Taurus to me. In fact, I'm gonna light that candle. 1 second. Let me grab a lighter. I mean, honestly, you can't call it an altar unless you light a candle, right? Okay. Let me grab my little book here, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the astrology of the month with a specific eye to Taurus. Now, Taurus is a Venus ruled sign. Venus is retrograde in Leo. So this can be somewhat challenging for Taurus because your ruling planet is moving retrograde, and Venus is the rarest of retrogrades. It goes retrograde about every 500, I think it's 500 and something days. So the longest period between retrogrades, and its retrograde period is 40 days. Around 40 days. I believe this one is 42 days. So it's a little longer than the 40 days. And of course, we know that 40 is a significant number. We look in the Bible, Jesus was in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights, and I'm sure Moses did something for, was it 40 years for Moses, but roaming around. So there is a definite sensibility around that 40, and of course it is a 4, which is about building foundations, and the 0 brings in the God force. So it's a pretty magical number, actually. But maybe not so magical for Taurus, because for the whole month of August, your ruling planet is retrograde. Now it's in Leo, which is a sign that is also fixed along with Taurus, and so it squares your Taurus. So it does stimulate you to action. So you will find yourself perhaps more active than usual this August. We start the month with a full moon. The full moon is in Aquarius with the sun in Leo. This activates your 10th, 4th house axis. This is the axis of security. So you're starting right off with a awareness around your security needs and the reality of how secure are you, actually. We do have on the same day, the first day of the month in August, everything happens on August 1st. And then for the rest of the week, we're sort of trying to figure out what that all was about. So we have the full moon that brings awareness. The signs that the full moon is in, Aquarius, and then the sun, of course, which is the other part of the full moon dynamic, right? In Leo is the axis, activates love and the axis of love, and love given and love received, and personal love, Leo, and impersonal love, Aquarius. But for Taurus, it's right down the center of your chart. So when that MCIC, right, this thing gets activated through full moons or oppositions of any kind or nodal placements, our security feels not necessarily at risk, but in focus. And it is the MC in an astrological chart. The MC is the top point and the IC is the bottom point. That is the path of spirit. We also have the ascendant descendant, which goes this way. So this is the cross of incarnation. We have spirit, which is this part, which is actually male. And we have the feminine, which is across the ascendant, descendant. This is us. This is I am and others. This is physical security, and this is emotional security, right? It's the cross of incarnation. So your cross of incarnation gets activated through this full moon. At the same time, we have Mars making a trine to Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is in Taurus. Jupiter is moved into Taurus in May, I believe it was, and it's there for a year, a little over a year, actually. And so Jupiter in Taurus, Jupiter in your sign is expansion. And so it can be expansion of your waistline. So you do have to watch with that, Taurus. But there's this expansive energy that's happening with Taurus. And Taurus is our values. It's what's important. It's our resources. So there can be an expansion of resources. We have Mars now making a trine. And this is all happening in your fire houses. And we have Jupiter in your first house. Watch your waistline. I said trining Mars in Virgo, which is your fifth house. So this is an opportunity for some creative self-expression. You could even like make a new recipe. That's a very Taurus thing to do. And so we do have a number of trines. We have a trine between Mars and Jupiter. We also have a trine this month between Mars and Pluto, and a trine between Mars and Jupiter. Sorry, I said that. Mars and Jupiter, Mars and Pluto, and Mars and Uranus. All those happening this month. And so what's getting activated through that are your fire houses, your I am house, your Leo house, which is your children and your progeny and your creativity, and your ninth house, which is your beliefs. So that's what's getting activated by these trines with Mars. Very, very powerful. Although trines can sort of work in the background and you don't necessarily have to do anything with them. But you can access them, and it'd be very helpful to you to do so. So this can actually be a very creative time for you, Taurus, even with Venus retrograde. Venus retrograde just requires you to look within. And there's a lot of really great material in there. So you might as well put it out there, right? Okay. We also have, let's see. We also have on the first day, like I said, the first day is the big day, and then we have the rest of the week. We have an opposition between Mercury and Saturn. Mercury is the mind, and Saturn is restrictions. And so there's a line drawn in the sand here. For you, this is in your, let's see. This is in your fifth and your 11th house. So there's a line drawn in the sand around love. And perhaps this is a boundary. Perhaps this is as far as you can go, and you can't go any further with this. It's not necessarily a negative thing, but it is an awareness where sometimes you do have to put a line in the sand. Now, Taurus is pretty good about putting lines in the sand, maybe a little bit too good about putting lines in the sand. And so perhaps you need to really examine where you've put the line. Is it limiting you? Is it limiting your ability to make friends? Is it limiting your ability to have love in your life? And so it is an evaluation of that. And because we're dealing with Mercury, it has to do with the mind. It has to do with the mind. And Mercury in this situation is in Virgo. And Virgo can be a little bit too critical. So watch that you're not being too critical with those you love, and with your and those who love you. Okay. Week 2, we have a very optimistic square between the Sun and Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is in your sign, the Sun is in Leo. For you, this is your feel a need to take an action. You feel the need to take an action, but you need to make sure that the action that you take isn't, you're not overreacting or overacting in this situation. And on the same and at the same time, we also have a trine between Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter, of course, in your sign, Mercury in Virgo. I'm so sorry. This is a trine between your first and your fifth house. Again, creative self-expression. So there's a lot of creativity with this energy. We also have the new moon coming up in Leo. That is happening on the 16th. This is happening in your house of home. This is a good time to start perhaps a project in your home to renovation or beautification, bringing more sun in. Maybe you want to add a sunroom or a garden room or something that's going to beautify your home with that Leo there, even with Venus retrograde. And Venus retrograde would actually be a good time to renovate, to make things more palatable, more beautiful, to reflect the new you. Because remember, your sign has had Uranus in it for how many years now? 5 years, is it? Uranus has been in your sign. And so you've had a lot of changes, Taurus, and Taurus isn't known for its changes, but you have been through the changes, and now you want your environment to reflect that. So that's a good possibility for that new moon in Leo. On the, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4th week of the month, we're looking at oh, wait a minute. Is it so the 3rd week? Okay, 3rd week. Another thing I failed to mention. Venus makes a conjunction to the sun. This is the highlight of the Venus retrograde cycle, sort of the midpoint of it. This is when you have to really sort of look within, and it is in your 4th house. So we could also be looking at how our family dynamic, our family that we grew up in, and also, I guess, the family that you create, how has that affected your sense of self-worth? Evaluating that. You know, Venus in Leo is about loving yourself. And, you know, some people love themselves too much, and some people don't love themselves enough. So neither one of those things are good. There has to be a balance point with that, to love and to be lovable in balance. So we'll have an opportunity to evaluate that. That's actually happening on the, let's see, what day is that? Oh, where's Venus Sun? Venus Sun. Do I have it written down here? I don't have the day. Why don't I have the day? Just give me a moment. Oh, the 13th. So this is actually happening before that new moon. So you'll have a lot of fodder for that new moon, like new relationship with how I love myself and how that's reflected in my environment. Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's good. We also have the sun make a square to Uranus, so there can be some unexpected things that are happening. Again, this is 1st and 4th house. So, and of course it is family as well. So there can be some unexpected revelations within the family. Week 4 is a week of awareness. And it's also a week of making adjustments. We have a couple of profound and important inconjuncts to the sun in Leo from Neptune and from Pluto, making the sun be at the point of a yod. This requires us to make adjustments in our ego. And for you, the sun is in the 4th house. So it's very sort of sensitive place. But it really is asking us to look at our purpose, our creative spark, our divine sort of spark within us, Leo sun, and how we use that to benefit not just ourselves, and our own environment, but the world at writ large, as they say, writ large. So it is a, you could have a wonderful life, and you could be like, wow, this is great. My life is going really good. I'm redoing my house. I'm making it more a reflection of who I am. And then you look out into the world and you say, oh my God, what's going on here? So it doesn't mean that you have to stop the good things in your life. You just have to include, I really do think that the best way to improve the world is to live your most authentic, best life. Being yourself, shining your light. And so, but then sharing it. It's not about holding it all to yourself. It's about sharing it. So maybe you want to share your renovation journey with people and teach them as you're learning your journey. So that might be something that you, or you can maybe help people who need a job, and you give them the work that they need so that they can support their family. So there's all kinds of ways that by being your best self, you're helping others, and we'll see that. Excuse me. In that week, we also have an opposition between Mars and Neptune. That's a tough one. It's the halfway point of a 2-year cycle between Mars and Neptune, and it's really we become aware of sort of what we've been working on, what spiritual things we're working on Neptune, or perhaps where we've been putting our energy that really hasn't worked out for us. So we have an awareness around maybe we need to change the way we express our energies. For you, this is happening in your 5th and 11th house again. It has to do with your love. So there's this energy of maybe putting a line in the sand and then maybe taking the line away, but there's this definite energy of, for you, Taurus, for really seeing who is loving you and who are you loving, right? Okay. Let's see. On the 23rd, we have the sun move into Virgo, and on the same day, Mercury, which is in Virgo at that time, goes retrograde in Virgo. So a reevaluation. Virgo for you is your 5th house of children, creativity, love, luck. No, your luck is not running out. You're pretty lucky, you guys. That has to do with the fact that you're so damn loyal. People really appreciate that about you. But so we're going to be looking through that. Virgo in the 5th house there, as the sun moves through, is making the adjustments necessary to perfect your creativity and what you have to say, your self-expression. And then I spoke of at the beginning that we have the trines of Mars to Jupiter, Mars to Uranus, and now Mars to Pluto. This is your 9th, for you guys, it's your 9th and your 5th house. Your 9th house is your what you believe. That's your Pluto and Mars in that self-expressive house. So you might find yourself declaring what is important to you, what you believe to be true, declaring the truth and the like at that time. And then then Mars moves into Libra. Libra is your 6th house of health. Is it your 6th house of health? No, it's your 6th house of health. I have the wrong house here. Or do I? Where's Libra? Okay, yeah, 6th house of health. So at the end of the month, you need to watch balance, don't work too hard. Make sure you're hydrated, especially with all this heat happening in the northern hemisphere. Libra rules the kidneys, so you want to make sure that you're balanced with that. And we have a full moon in Virgo and Pisces. Virgo being your 5th house, Pisces being your 11th house. Another Is that right? Pisces, Virgo, yeah. 5th, 11th. Another look at love and how you give it and how you receive it. So ultimately, and that sort of goes along with Venus and Leo as well. A real evaluation of where you're putting your energy when it comes to your relationships. A real an opportunity to renovate, an opportunity to really resolve some issues that you might have from your childhood. But I think just generally a very productive, even with your ruling planet moving backwards, a very productive month for Taurus. So that's good news. Good news, people. All right, so I'm going to pull an oracle card. I've been using each month. I've been using the same oracle deck for all the readings, which has been kind of fun. Because if you're doing these readings, checking your sun position, your moon position, and your ascendant position, then you might get a repeat, or you get 3 animals to work with. So let's see. Let me just shuffle this up really nice and see what we have for Taurus. What animal wants to give a message for Taurus for the month of August? Okay, let's check it out. Oops. It's pretty early here. It's I'm doing this on a Sunday, and it's still pretty cool out, which is nice. It doesn't stay cool very long. In the summer, you got to get up early. I live in an old sort of antique house, and we don't have AC. We have a lot of fans. We don't have AC. But we've been really lucky here in the Northeast. I mean, not so much for the places that got flooded, but generally we've had hot, muggy weather like we always have, maybe a little bit more than we used to have, but it doesn't get, so far hasn't gotten all that hot. All right, let's see what we have here. What did we get? Electric eel spirit. Wow. Who knew? Electric eel spirit. It's very Uranian, don't you think? Uranus and Taurus. How about that? So this is from a deck from Colette Barron-Reed. She does beautiful work, and beautiful art in this deck. Who does the art here? Does it say who the art is by? Also by? It should say it. Hold on. I like to give them credit, and I'll put this deck in the descriptor so you can see it. Well, it doesn't say who the artist is. Well, that's weird. I don't think she's an artist, so all right. Well, I do want to publish by, maybe it's AI art. It's so weird that they don't have the artist right there. Sorry about not being able to tell you. Okay. Well, cover art is by Jenna Della. Oh God. Bertaglia. And I think the art is maybe all the same artist. Okay, well, I have to tell you who the artist is, right? This is the Taurus reading. Taurus is very much into art. In fact, there are some great Taurus artists. Dali was a Taurus. So, all right. And of course, Taurus in Uranus would be perfect combination for Dali, the surrealist. Okay, let's get on with the read. Pondering about art. All right, let's get to electric. This is going to be good, I'm sure. Okay. And I think I'll hold the card up here so you guys can see it. It is kind of an interesting card. Here we go. Bring your ideas to life. That's exactly what the astrology said. I love this. This always works like this. Okay, sorry, I won't get too excited. You know what? I'm going to put it down here. I can read. Let's put it behind let's put it next to the fairy. A little fairy. There we go. Electric eel. Ooh, do, Electric Avenue, and then we get you higher, higher. Sorry, that just came into my head. Oracle message, seemingly out of nowhere, the jolt of electric eel spirit appears to awaken you to a big idea that you are meant to explore. Epiphanies and aha moments are gifted to you right now, so celebrate. Woohoo. Your life has the potential for profound transformation. Inspiration rises in you, electrifying you so that you can't wait to get started, bringing your ideas to life. The revelations you experience now are meant to set you on a new path. So do not be afraid to act. Explore, examine, and do not fear the changes that may come, for Spirit wants to shower you with the love, success, and abundance that you hope to experience. Now is a thrilling time of epiphanies, inspired ideas, and innovation. This is a wondrous sign for you today. I love it. I love it. It's so Uranus. Oh, I love it. Okay. So that's the spirit. That's the animal spirit. Okay, so now let's do the tarot. Sorry about let's see if I can fix this. Not that you have to see me clearly, but it's kind of annoying, I realize. Oh, wait. Come on. Okay, I don't want to put my face that close. How do you do this now? There it is. The white hand. I'm like, I've always called myself the whitest white girl I know. I actually have, I don't usually share this stuff, but I actually have something called vitiligo. I don't know if you know what that is. If you're a fan of Michael Jackson, that's what he said he had. There's some very famous model that has vitiligo, but it's a lack of pigment, and so you turn white. So I have some really white spots, very white. And you lose your melanin, so you can't you don't tan there, you just stay white. And it is associated with feeling like an outsider, which has been something I've always felt. So that's interesting. All right, I am using the Druid Craft Oracle. I'm going to be using this deck for all the earth signs. And it's taken me a while because it's a big honking deck. It's beautiful deck. The art is beautiful, but it's hard to shuffle because it's so big. So just have some patience with me. You guys, you Tauruses are pretty patient. Electric eel. That Electric Avenue song. Who sang that? The guys from Down Under, right? Was that the guys who sang that? Yeah, it was a long time ago. All right, let's see what's coming up for you. Ooh. Look at that, guys. The magician right up front. You have the power. You got the power. Do. This is about focused intention. This is about as above, so below. This is about utilizing all the elements with a focused mind to manifest. So you're at a point, it's a 1 card, so it's about something new. And obviously, it's all talking about everything in the astrology. Everything in the oracle cards talking about something new. Let's see the challenge to this. The 3 of Swords. I'm not sure you trust your good fortune. 3 of Swords is about heartbreak, but it's also about freedom, breaking you free so that you can move on. Sometimes we don't want to move on, but the 3 of Swords makes us move on. And so if something comes up, and there's a lot of, in the astrology, there's a lot of issues around love, and love you give and love you receive, and lines in the sand. And so if there is a loss when it comes to love, it's really there to free you up to really do what you want to do. So that's a possibility. The other possibility is that you're a little afraid. You're afraid that if you do what you want to do, that it's going to create some sort of disruption, perhaps, in your relationships. Let's see what's at the root of this. The Queen of Swords, past experience. The Queen of Swords is an energy that utilizes their good judgment and understands how when you make a choice, when you make one choice, sometimes it excludes another choice. But it's asking you, these three cards, in fact, are asking you to be incisive. Let's see what's in the past. A new idea, an ace. This is good. So we just had a new idea. This could have been the idea. Oh, I think I'm going to renovate my house or my bathroom or my bedroom or whatever. But new creative idea in the past, just recently. In the sky, we have the Wheel of Fortune. In this deck, the wheel is a little bit different than the Wheel of Fortune. This is about she's creating a circle, and when you do circle work, or you do when you're doing pagan ritual, it's about creating a safe space. And that's what this is saying. You need to create a safe space for yourself. You need to create an environment where you can do your magic, Let's see the immediate future. We have change. So something is definitely changing. That's indicated in the electric eel card. It's indicated in the squares. A lot of the squares between the Taurus planets and the Leo planets, a lot of the Iranian energy that we see. But so something is changing, something is moving out of your life. You have no choice but to let it go. So don't be nervous about it, because it's the and it doesn't have to be a person that's leaving if that's what's making you afraid. But it could be a way of being. It could be about letting go of something that you held on too tightly to, and now you need this. Just change needs to happen in order for you to progress. How it's seen from the outside. Resting your mind, not arresting, resting your mind, taking the time out. I think people see the need for you to rest, to quiet your mind, to spend the time thinking, so to speak, and figuring things out for yourself. Domestic situation is the 10 of Cups. It's a wonderful card to have in your domestic situation. So there's celebration, there's happiness, there's you might have some family parties that are happening this month. Very nice card. So home is doing okay. Hopes and fears, we have the 8 of Swords. Making the wrong decision, perhaps, or having to make a decision is somewhat of a fear. It's understandable. Let's see the outcome. We have the 5 of Cups. This is about loss. And so there is going to be some sort of loss here that you're going to have to deal with, the grief around that. But you can't just wallow in the grief. This card always says, don't pay attention. It's about taking the time that you need, but it's also about seeing what you have to work with once you've doing the process of grieving. Let's see if we can get a major arcana. 10 of Wands, a lot of burdens, and the Tower. I think what these cards are indicating is that if you don't necessarily it wants you to lay down your burdens. And if you don't lay down your burdens, what's the word I'm looking for? Of your own volition, the burdens will be laid down otherwise. Underneath it all is the end of a way of being, a evaluation of your situation, financially, resourceful. This is a druid taking some mistletoe magic off of an oak tree here. this is, again, there's all this energy of magic in this particular read, with the magician starting it off, and this whole idea of getting your and making your magical circle. It's really about recreating your life in a way. And it kind of goes along with that Venus retrograde, right? And then we have the Nine of Wands, which is protecting what you do have. So a very interesting reading, but I can't say that it's going to be all sunshine and butterflies, because there are, which would be fine. Like there'll be sunshine and butterflies, but it won't be every day of sunshine and butterflies. But it's really talking about really sort of focusing on that, which is the most important thing to focus on, which is your ability to co-create, to create the life that that most reflects who you are. All right, Taurus. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe if you would. If you like my work and you want to support me, you can give me a thumbs up. You can share the video, which is always good. Thank you for those who have new subscribers. I've reached 10,000, which was a big milestone for me, and I did it before my birthday, so that was kind of cool. And I also have a Patreon page, and it's mostly everything that goes on YouTube is also on Patreon in that respect. But Patreon, the patrons get it sooner, and as the more patrons I get, the more I can do some specific things for the Patreon channel that I kind of have to see that there's interest in that before I can really put the effort in, because there's so many things to do. I'm also renovating my bedroom downstairs and doing some renovation work, which I love, but it does take a lot of time, and I don't have that much skill, so we'll see how that goes. But so check, so you can become a patron if you like, for $5 a month. It's up to you. If you can do it, that would be great. If you can't do it, I understand, and just share my work, because I'd really like to expand my work and the opportunities for me to both share what I know and teach what I know. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful month. Like and subscribe. Again, I said it, and take care, everyone. Namaste.